He'll watch a movie, then he'll tell you all about it. It's the Armstrong Entertainment Show.
Hello everyone and welcome to Armstrong Entertainment. This is Chad here and this is a special edition. It is May 13th, 2019 and today is a very sad day because one of my all-time favorite actresses, idols, what have you, Doris Day passed away today. Now, there aren't a lot of old Hollywood actors and actresses left today from the 1940s, 50s, even 60s. They're all passing away. And this was just like that old Hollywood feeling. And Doris Day was just especially close to my heart. And I've always associated her with my grandparents. When I first discovered who Doris Day was, it was because of my grandfather. He is, always will be, a super duper fan of Doris Day. And I remember being a child, going over to my grandparents' condo, and we would watch these old Doris Day movies. And even as a child, I don't know what it was, but there was something about her that I just loved so much. And maybe it's probably because I ended up associating her with my grandmother. And just seeing her on screen with this long blonde hair like my grandma's, and my grandfather just loved Doris Day so much, but obviously he loved my grandmother a lot more, but they just had this connection, and it was really cute how he was able to make my grandma a fan. And I remember specifically watching Calamity Jane at their place, and the song Secret Love came on, and I was probably 11 years old. And I just remember my grandmother telling me what an incredible song it was and how popular it was and how everyone loved it. And I remember her singing it during the movie, and I was just thinking, wow, this song is horrible. Like, it's so boring and slow, and this is an old person's music. It's just so funny when you look back on something like that, because now that song is one of my favorite songs of all time. And whenever I hear Secret Love, I instantly remember my grandma and my grandpa. So my grandmother passed away at a relatively young age of 62 about 20 years ago, and when it happened, it was just so hard for me to deal with it and cope with her death, and for some reason I started associating Doris Day and my grandmother as one person. They both shared this same personality, this kind, sweet, loving women who loved animals. They had this similar blonde hair. And of course, my grandfather loved both of them, so I guess that's how naturally I coped with my grandmother's death. So as the years went by, I became a bit of a Doris Day aficionado. I love her films. I love The Man Who Knew Too Much, that she got to work with Alfred Hitchcock, Pillow Talk with Rock Hudson, The Thrill of It All, Move Over Darling, Pajama Game. I mean, there's so many great movies and performances she's done, and I love the fact that I'm able to have this talking point with my grandfather. So every time I see my grandfather, we usually talk about Doris Day in some way, shape, or form, and it's usually me who is bringing it up. So all in all, I'm not really sure why I'm making this video. I think it's mainly for closure because Doris Day became this grandmother figure to me, and whenever I see Doris Day or hear her song or see one of her movies, I think I'm reminded of my grandmother Barbara Armstrong and just how much I miss her, and the fact that Doris Day was still alive, living in California in Carmel. And in the back of my head, I was like, oh, I could just go visit Grandma or go visit Doris and just be reminded of my grandmother. So when she passed away today, I knew it was going to come sooner than later, and it just was upsetting, and I'm sad, but it's okay. I hope she gets to meet my grandma on the other side somewhere, and they're smiling down on us, or whatever people say, I don't know. But I'm not quite sure how to end this video, because it's kind of awkward and random and not normal for my movie reviews, but I would just like to say thank you, Doris Day, for all of the memories. You've really helped me through the years, whether I even knew it or not, and you'll always be something my grandfather and I can share together. Until next time.
He'll watch a movie, then he'll tell you all about it. It's the Armstrong Entertainment Show.